Hey, Voyage Church. I hope that everybody's keeping healthy and safe. Thank you so much for joining us in our devotional today. So, this last week, in the face of surging infections in the United States, as many of us know, the Quebec government imposed a mandatory mask law. Um, uh, we have the threat of renewed lockdowns to protect our collective health, especially those of us who are vulnerable to this infection. So even as gatherings are curtailed again, and people are just frustrated, let's be honest, at governmental indecision, and everybody is preoccupied with calling out people who wear or don't wear face coverings, and this is amidst the ongoing conversation and debate about racial inequality. I just want to ask you this: how are you planning to continue gathering corporately, with other people for prayer and worship during this time? Are you setting apart some dedicated time where you meet regularly with other Christ followers? Now, I know that it's not easy. We may need to be creative about gathering together while maintaining our health and social distancing requirements. But here's my question to you: what does going to church every Lord's Day mean to you? Now, David expressed what corporate worship meant to him in Psalm 42. Now, um, just to give a little bit of context behind Psalm 42, this is David. He is, in exile. He's away from his home. He's not able to worship with other Christ followers, and he's homeless. He's hungry. He doesn't have water, and this is what he writes: As the deer longs for streams of water, so I long for you, O God. I thirst for God, the living God. When can I go and stand before him? Day and night, I have only tears for food, while my enemies continually taunt me, saying, Where is this God of yours? My heart is breaking as I remembered how it used to be, rather. I walked among the crowds of worshippers, leading a great procession to the house of God, singing for joy and giving thanks amid the sound of a great celebration. Friend, is this your great longing as well? In the July edition of the Banner of Truth magazine, David Clarkson mentioned 12 reasons why we should worship together corporately. For the sake of time, I'm just going to mention the top four, okay? The first is that the Lord is more glorified by and he is more present in public worship than private. Two, public worship is more edifying or it's much more beneficial to us than private worship. Three, public worship is a much better security against apostasy or false teaching than private worship. And finally, four, and this is my favorite one: public worship is the nearest resemblance of heaven that we have here on earth. Friend, even as we long for things to return to normal, and and the pangs of not being able to gather physically as Voyage Church just get more and more painful with each passing week, I just want to challenge you with three thoughts, okay? Just three thoughts. The first is that now that we are deprived of meeting physically week after week, may we have a greater respect for our Sunday gatherings. My second thought: are we treating time together in worship as merely another one of our Sunday activities, or is it the central activity around which we do all other activities as extensions of worship? And finally, are we merely satisfied with a couple of hours together as a church body, or do we see our weekly gatherings together as they truly are? It's a shadow of heaven. And accordingly, do we eagerly seek out other opportunities to worship God together during the week? I'm just going to leave you with these thoughts. And until we meet again, my friends, God bless, stay safe,